Hello, welcome everybody to my community group, Jessica Alstrom Quantum Life Community. I am going live for just a couple of minutes to give you a little bit of a full moon report this evening. I do this every week in this group, and we also put this on YouTube. So for any of you guys that are seeing this on YouTube, come on back to Facebook and join our community. It is Jessica Alstrom Quantum Life Community. So welcome, guys. I know you just saw me yesterday doing the big Q&A that I did in the group. So thank you guys for participating in that. And I know that you had a bunch of questions about what was going on after the effects of DNA activation and what is going on right now. And you know, you've probably been hearing the prophecy for the last 7 years about what is coming and what is actually arrived. And the time that we're in right now is extremely crucial. And I've never really been a fear report girl. I've never really spoken in probabilities in the negative spectrum when it comes to quantum reality, and I never will. But as the gate really starts to open and the old timelines begin to fall away, we have to understand that the fire is really under our ass to take our position as light workers and messengers and guides and really begin to demonstrate who it is and what we say we are in physical action. This is the action part of our physical ascension, which means that we have been gearing up and getting ready for this. We have suffered, we have learned, we have remembered, we have obtained, we understand viscerally all of the commands of the universe, and it's really time for us now to kind of put everything into action. So this particular full moon is called the Hunter's Moon, and it is in Taurus this month, and it's an interesting kind of metaphor. I love to speak in metaphors and teach in metaphors because when we actualize something, it puts so much pressure and resistance on something that has to be absolute truth. When most everything in the universe is built in a metaphor, it's built in a fairy tale concept. And the Hunter Moon is no different. It's almost like when you look at what a hunter has to do, they have to get extremely focused. And they have to choose very, 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 very intensely what it is that they're looking to do. Now, I'm not saying I'm associating with hunters, but what I am saying is the hunter mentality is where we are right now collectively. And the hunter mentality is basically we're gearing up for winter. And this is our last effort to really ground our truth in what it is we need and want to create our reality for the winter time, which means that we're going to be going into kind of a phase of hibernation with all of our energy that happens around the wintertime. Now, obviously, if you're on the other side of the hemispheres, you're celebrating the opposite spectrum, and that's duality. So you are gearing up for basically the other side of this activity. But when it comes to where we are as a collective, USA is a good melting pot to observe the collective viewpoint or the understanding of where we are emotionally. And what I can understand and inform you guys is right now that there's never been a more urgent time for you to really focus on what it is that you are desiring and start taking physical action towards that. That means that if you are a flashlight, which means you're a light, then wherever you're focused on is what is being generated. That means whatever you're focused on, which means wherever you choose to take that light is what you're going to become, what you're going to see, what you're going to be able to actualize. Because the old timelines are disappearing and they're dissipating, and 3D is integrating into this 4D bridge and moving into this 5D, this energy, then it's asking us to decide and choose what it is and who we want to be. Now, that is a scary place if you haven't fired up your passion and moved into purpose yet. But don't worry. Your job right now is to follow the highest excitement of what it is you can focus on and then act that out. I'm going to be bringing back method acting to my TICA University because method acting is one of the fastest ways to implement and exercise epigenetics. And epigenetics is basically it's genetic frequency of your cellular body becoming that which you believe it is, which means the antennas of your cellular memory and your cellular activity are constantly asking you, who are we, who are we, who are we, what are we? And you're constantly looking in your environment, in your reality, and you're feeding back your observation of what and who you are back to your cells, and your cells become that. And when that happens, your body morphs into the belief system that you hold the most dominant, which means whatever you're looking at the most dominant is going to be your experience. And as the timelines from the past old density of creation fall away, we fall in an instant manifestational phase, falling into that paradigm where now where I'm focused is what I am becoming. And the more we fear, the more we have things to fear. So if you were going to look at yourself in this hunter moons as like that sniper, that laser focus, that flashlight on the edge of that weapon, you know, what would you be looking at? Where would your aim be? What direction would you be moving? And what are you trying to accomplish with your everyday actions? Because this moon in Taurus is very physical and grounded. It's very much the home body, but works really hard to create the home and the house. And it is very much about effort in creating something that is very rooted with wings, so that you're able to like be stable in the new energy, but also have the freedom and the capability to change into what you're becoming. And that's really collectively where this full moon is Taurus is all about kind of like that stubborn homebody, but very hard working to create that for themselves. You know, they're the beaver that will spend months and months and months working on creating this beautiful home for itself. You know, it's like that is the energy of the Taurus. And the hunter moon is all about what is the shot that you're going to take. The shots that you're going to take are going to equal what you're going to experience this time next year, which means what you're looking at right now, what thoughts you're choosing right now, what actions you're acting out right now, what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no thank you to, the boundaries that you have or do not have, the arguments that you're in or you're not in, the relationships that you are in or not in are going to be basically this focal point will slingshot and become the byproduct of your next year that you will then start to move into. So it's really about taking ownership of your desire. And when we go to Phuket next week, we're going to be doing the 7 steps of manifestation in a ceremonial form. And the reason why we're doing that is because I feel this tendency with my students sometimes over the years, because I've taught manifestation for so long, that they forget the subtleties of the actual physics behind creation. And the actual physics behind creation are extremely valuable points in universal law that keep you in a vibrational movement towards the becoming frequency of that which you want, which means when you first desire something, you are not a vibrational match to it. And these 7 steps basically are the elevator that moves you into the frequency of that which you want. And then from that, your body becomes that frequency. And now you're in alignment with the parallel realities that are the things or the feels or the people or the places or the circumstances that you want to experience. And that's really how this virtual reality game goes. So right now, as we're moving into kind of this new energy, and we're all feeling it, it's all going haywire all the time. This is where you would be alone in the dark going, look for the light, look for something that sparks your interest. If you don't have fire, crazy passion, what is sparking you right now? What is calling you? Walk towards it. Don't just think about it. Don't read about it. Don't learn about it. Walk towards it, because it really is about conquering something that you can stabilize, that you can use to create for the next year. And this year is going to be a really powerful year. Honestly, the next 10 years are going to be game changers. But this next year in 2019, you will see and hear things that you never, ever, ever, ever thought you would ever hear and see in your lifetime. And that's really awesome. And you will be able to experience shifts and changes. And the cool part about it is you'll be grounded in this new identity, which is your higher self. And your higher self doesn't necessarily need this job security or this perfect home or this perfect relationship or this perfect kids or this perfect anything, perfect body, in order to feel confident and strong and wise and abundant and free. So really what we're trying to do is, as a collective, is we are fine-tuning our focus right now. And if you understand quantum mechanics, that you build your reality out of being hyper-focused. I loved the video that Christian did the other day about focus and how the perspective of the more focused we are, the faster we materialize, which is why I'm going to start teaching method acting again in my TICA Academy, because when you understand method acting, you understand that you can create an epigenetic process of very fast duplication of manifested reality that you choose, basically by directing your and commanding your virtual reality and then your physical reality, which is your body, into becoming. Because there is nothing written. The past is moving away and the future is completely unwritten. And for that, you're allowed to not find yourself, but choose yourself, remember yourself, unburden yourself, unlearn all of these programs, and then step into. So imagine right now that you are a flashlight, and imagine what that flashlight is pointed at. And think about that tomorrow as you go throughout your day. Where is my light focused? Because your light is your consciousness. Where is my light focused today? Am I focused on lack of time, lack of money, lack of help, lack of support? Or am I focused on, there's an opportunity here that I never had before. Let me milk that. Let me really say yes to that. Let me dive into that. I don't know how to do that, but you know what? It feels good. It feels fun. Let me dive in head first. Because believe it or not, you do know how to do it, but you won't know how to do it until you're actually doing it, because that's how it works. I just wanted to leave you guys this quick update for this full moon. And with all full moons, it's our time to materialize. It's our time to manifest. It's our time to reap what we've sown. It's our time to look at everything that we're working on. And because Venus is still in retrograde, that this is also a time with this Taurus full moon that you're going to be redefining what love is and how you love and how you receive love, and the love that you've had and the love that you're in, and really start to kind of work with the different kind of flow around it. So a lot of relationships are going to be changing very, very quickly for the rest of this year. Because this year is kind of like stripping away the Band-Aid, letting the wound surface, heal it through the air, through the sun, through the breeze, through the awareness. And then next year is going to be basically, it's going to be go time, which means we're going to be acting out our higher selves in living form. And that's why a lot of the relationship stuff is coming up right now for us to be able to look at and say, you know, I used to think love was this, and now I'm seeing that love looks like this. And I used to need this, and now I don't need this. So we're moving away from the paradigm of attachment versus connection. And attachment versus connection is really the 3D paradigm and the 5D paradigm, because your relationships in 5D will be about connection. You'll notice a connection relationship is extremely expansive, which means that when you come together, you get bigger, your light gets bigger, and their light gets bigger. It's almost like a puzzle piece coming together. And in a third dimensional attached relationship, you notice that you shrink, you feel small, you feel less powerful, you feel less confident, you feel like you actually need that other person to be whole. And that's really what we're kind of shifting away from. And this Venus in retrograde is really helping bring all of those old stories to the surface so we can look at them and honor them and release them. And the way that I teach my students to break patterns is first and foremost, we never say the word no, because the universe doesn't have that word or that understanding, so no means yes. So what we say is sometimes we say stop. And then what we do is we take a breath and we look at the 4 directions that we have, because at a stop sign, that is basically your opportunity to choose, which when you have choice, you have potential, and when you have potential, you have possibilities. You're not limited. Only the word no limits you. But when you say stop, I need to stop this. I need to take a breath. I need to look at this pattern fully and wholly, and I need to decide who it is I am, what it is I want, and how I want to show up to this fork in the road or this 4-way stop. And then I'm going to choose my direction based on the highest expression of expansion that I could create through my own willpower and action. And what you'll notice is that detour or that stop sign is a shortcut, because everything should be getting easier now, not harder. I know I've been talking about 5G and I've been talking about, you know, energetic warfare and all these different possibilities, but the truth of it is this game is getting so much easier. And the reason why is because you are becoming more aware. You are becoming more conscious. You are becoming and realizing so much more that you always have been creator, and now you're learning how to create through your choice versus default. And this is where life gets very, very magical. So for some, the game will get much harder. But for those of you that are in this awareness game and really working on looking within to find the diamonds and the gold and the truth and the love and the home and the safety and the security and the worth, you're noticing that this game is actually getting much easier. So just wanted to leave you with that, with the short little message from the Taurus full moon. And I hope that you guys are all in the classroom this week because we have a lot to cover. We're going to be working on some method acting tools to get ready for our Phuket, Thailand trip next week. And that is still open if you guys want to be a part of that. Just jump on Phuket Cleanse website. That's PhuketCleanse.com. Mention my name and you'll get an insane deal for you to just join us for a couple of weeks out there to do some ceremonies to bring in this new magical year that's coming in. And otherwise, we've got 10 early bird tickets left for our Las Vegas tour, which is the Quantum Revolution tour. And with that, that is at 2 for 1. As soon as that is over, the ticket prices will never be that again for this tour. We're going to do this, we're going big or we're going home with this tour. We're going to cover a lot of ground, and we've got to make a huge impact with this activation to not only get our bodies ready for 2019, but to start clearing this planet like we knew that we came to do. So if you feel inspired, join us. You can jump on my website. You can follow the link that's in the comments here. The link will be in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. You can go ahead and get your tickets, which means you get a 2 for 1 offer. Or if you're not ready to do the tour, jump in the classroom and start spending some time with the community and the tribe and the messages and the archive teachings and the up-to-date teachings, because we're always teaching quantumly, which means we're always teaching in the now moment, which means it's always relevant. So thank you for joining us, or me, and I will see you in the classrooms and I will see you on tour.